When you make a sculpture out of something that's really mushy, like celluclay, which is what we're going to use for this upcoming sculpture, you usually need something called an armature. An armature is like the skeleton of a sculpture. It's what goes underneath the mushy stuff you're using to create the details of the sculpture. Armatures give a sculpture its shape and helps it to stand up. So today we are going to be creating an armature for our large-scale pencil or crayon sculptures. It's going to look something like this when you're done. First, make sure you take a Sharpie and write your name and code on the tape name tag on your paper towel tube. After that is done, use the rectangle of cardstock to create the top of the pencil or crayon that you're creating. The top of a pencil and a crayon is a cone form. So we are going to take our cardstock and bend it into a cone form. Lay the paper horizontally, side to side. Place one finger in the top middle of the cardstock and bend each end of the rectangle over that middle spot to create a cone. There is going to be a small opening at the top of your cone, and that is okay. Just don't let it fall apart and get too large before you attach it to the paper towel tube. So when it's all bent into shape, get yourself a piece of tape. I like to stick the tape on the table by one end so that I can easily pull it off when I need it. And fold up your cone and tape it closed. Next, you need to get rid of that big triangle hanging off of the bottom of your cone to make it somewhat even. This is going to be taped on the top of the paper towel tube, but as you can see, it doesn't fit perfectly. So here's a little trick. Take your scissors and cut short cuts spaced evenly apart all around the bottom of your cone. Don't cut all the way to the top of the cone, just about an inch or so. Then when you put it back onto the tube, you can squeeze the bottom of the cone to make the paper fit around the tube. When that's done, take your roll of tape, stick the end to the armature you're creating, and wrap it around and around the bottom of the cone. Do it as many times as you need to make it really snug on there so it won't fall off and there are no gaps. And now you're done with the top. Next, it's time to create the bottom of your crayon or pencil. And so we need to cover up the bottom of the paper towel tube. First, create an X with the tape. Then, make another X that covers the spaces of the first X. Continue with this pattern until the entire opening of the paper towel tube is covered up with tape. You might have to do some problem solving and do a little bit of U on this part. It doesn't have to be perfect. That opening just needs to be covered up. After you're done with that, your armature is ready to go. Next art class, we are going to cover this thing with celluclay.